Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another full series Auto World episode. As I complete full series of Auto World, I'd like to do a kind of a summary video of the particular set, and we'd like to take a look at all the cars in the set. And usually when I get the last Ultra Red that I add to the list, we go ahead and do one of these videos. Now, this is 2020 release 2. So yes, it's been 2 years basically since this release has come out, but sometimes it just takes that long for me to complete these. This square body pickup is the last Ultra Red that I needed in the set, and you could see it right there. So happy to finally get it. I think I ended up having to go to eBay for it, and it just is what it is. But there you have it. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Well, this is the last car we'll take a look at. We'll open up this last. But just to see the packaging here, here's your packaging for it. This particular Ultra Red is found on a version A card. Does not really matter what card you find it on. This one probably made it a little bit more confusing because it's got the version A graphics on the truck, and you know, it's kind of hard to tell if this is an Ultra Red in comparison to the regular one, because the regular one was kind of like a metallic brownish. But anyway, it has a white base. That's the easiest way to tell. But we'll get into the Ultra Red traits in a little bit. Here's a look at the back of the card. Right there. Looking pretty good. And let's just kind of get into it. So we'll kind of set this thing off to the side back there. And then we'll take a look at these the other cars in the set. So we got the first casting here is this one. This is the 2019 Chevy Silverado High Country. These were limited to 8,816 pieces. This is version A in North Sky Blue Poly. This is probably my favorite version, I think, that's come out of the 2019 or newer Chevy Silverado casting that Auto World does. It's a very good looking truck. I love the chrome rims on it. It's very, very heavy. Of course, this casting, the hood opens on it to reveal some details underneath, and the tailgate also folds down. So this is version A in this North Sky Blue Poly. And then we have it in gloss black for version B. There's that right there. So gloss black for your version B. Again, looks very good. Auto World does great looking cars in black. This looks pretty much fantastic. It still has some fingerprints on it from the last time I touched it, but it's been on display since then. We'll have to wipe those off before we put them back. But again, this one's actually limited to 11,816 pieces. For some of these, they were sold in different quantities in straight packs to hobby dealers, which is going to account for the difference between the version A and version B numbers. So just so you know, 8,816 on the blue one, and then your 11,816 on the black one. And then the Ultra Red is approximately 619, 620 pieces. I'm not quite sure. For Ultra Red traits for this particular series, we do have an Ultra Red body. We have a white base, and I think that's pretty much it, unless he said no, nothing underneath the hood. And I know they went after the version A vehicles as far as the other traits go. So if there's any difference in the license plate, which I don't think there even is a plate on this one, there's not, no. So version A traits, this one again, approximately 619 pieces is about what this might be limited to. I can't tell you 100% for sure, but that's based on 3% of total production. So if you add the version A and version B numbers together and then calculate 3% of that, that's approximately what you should get for Ultra Reds. So technically, I guess it is more rare to get it on the A card for this one, since there was less of those technically made, or likely to be made. All right. Next would be the Chevy Silverado, but we're going to skip over that one to do it last, or the 77 Chevy Cheyenne, not Silverado. But we got the 2018 Jeep Wrangler Sahara, or Sahara, 4-door. So this one, 11,816 pieces for the red one, the version A, and not the version B. This casting also sports an opening hood. It's a pretty good looking Jeep, version A, just kind of a standard red. Looks pretty good. What looks, I think, much better is the one in billet silver. And that would be this one right here. Now, this one was the more limited one, 8,816 pieces on this one. I think it's been a while since I've done one that's been a variation between the numbers or whatever, between a version A and version B. I think most of the modern releases now, they're back to kind of making them the same number. But 8,816 pieces, which is the same total amount of pieces as we did for the Chevy Silverado, making the Ultra Red limited to approximately that 619 number. And here it is right there. In Ultra Red. So not a ton to look at. Of course, we got the Ultra Red body, and then we got the white base, and that's going to be the traits, basically, for this one. And then if there's any differentiation between the version A and the version B car, regular car, the Ultra Red is going to sport the version A traits. So not really any different here. I don't think there's a plate on this one either. Sometimes there's a license plate that'll be different between version A and version B, and that's kind of how you can tell, but not on this one. So, where we're going to really be able to tell, actually, is the next one, the Buick Estate Wagon. So, number 4 in the set is that Buick Estate Wagon. And here is your version A. Beautiful, heavy, heavy, heavy car in silver mist poly. This was limited to 6,800 pieces, which is the bottom, or basically the most limited number for the whole set is going to be 6,800. So, here you go. In silver mist poly, it does look pretty darn good in silver mist poly with a red interior, and looks pretty fantastic. We do have a plate on this one. What does that say? TK 1974. So there's that. The hood does open as well on this casting. It's kind of tough to get open. I'll try the next one. We'll see if I can get that one open. And then in version B is Verde Mist Poly, which is a green with some wood paneling and a black interior. This one looks fantastic. I really like this one. So that looks really good. So by looking at these, you should be able to guess what the Ultra Red's going to look like. And actually, sorry, that's not a black interior on this, is it? Is it green? I think it is green. Or maybe it is black. I don't know. No, it is green. It's green. All right. Anyway, it looks really good. So the Ultra Red, you should be able to predict by looking at these two cars what it's going to look like. We know it's going to be Ultra Red color, of course, for the body. And we know that the base is going to be white. But we should be able to glean from this is that, and these do have the same, they have a different plate, too. It appears. Hang on. Focus. Yeah. This one's MG 1974. So it's going to have the plate obviously from the silver one. It's going to have a red interior from the silver one, and it's not going to have the wood panel look, right? And that's exactly what we got. And then you could also calculate what it's limited to by adding our 6,800, or basically multiplying that by 2 and then multiplying it by, our 0.03 to get 3%. So approximately 408 pieces. There are 2 Ultra Reds in this series that are limited to 408, which is lower than 500, of course. Pretty limited. And that's this one and the next one we're about to look at. And, of course, this is going to have the TK plate, license plate from the version 8 car. All right, so next is the modern car. We get the Camaro. I love this release of this Camaro. This looks fantastic in this metallic green, or Synergy green, to be exact. This is limited to 6,800 pieces again. So version A and version B are both limited to 6,800 pieces, and the Ultra Red, of course, then 408. The 2011 Chevy Camaro RS SS looks fantastic in this Synergy green. Just a great looking. Probably my favorite version of this casting to ever come out. This casting has a lot of history with Auto World. It showed up in the first licensed premium release. I've talked about it in depth in previous videos, but so we won't really get into it here. Of course, this one also has an opening hood, but again, it's going to be tough to get open, so we might just skip it. But yeah, trust me, there's an engine under there. And so 6,800 pieces for that one. And then Imperial Blue is the other version B release. And it looks pretty decent as well. Not as cool, I don't think, as the Synergy Green version. Now, again, we should be able to predict what is that Ultra Red going to look like. Well, it's not going to have white stripes and it's not going to have chrome wheels because that's version B stuff. Version A had the black rims and the black striping. So we're going to see that, of course, on the Ultra Red for this one. And I should also just reiterate, it is not always the case that Ultra Reds will follow version A traits. That is for this particular release. It happens to be most of the Auto World releases, but it's not a 100% thing. Sometimes it will be a version B, but what is factual is that whatever they decide to do, it's going to be consistent throughout that release. So for release 2, 2020, they all have these same traits where they're going to have an Ultra Red body, a white base. They're going to have the version A traits as far as the vehicle goes itself. This thing looks amazing with Ultra Red and the black rims. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. And it's limited to 408 pieces, which means it's a fairly limited chase, under 500 pieces. So, you know, I don't remember what the 2020 release 3 traits are off the top of my head. I could probably look at my stuff here and find out. I think they had white tire. Yeah, they definitely had some white tire action going on in the next release. But so just to know, they switch it up between releases. They don't release to release to release. It's not all going to be the same traits for the chase all the time. The only thing that really is common is that Ultra Red color. So there you go. This is a fantastic looking car. Absolutely fantastic. All right. Next is the last one in the set before we look at the Chevy and get that open. This is the 66 Chevy Chevelle SS. This is in Danube Blue, limited to 9,800 pieces. And it looks okay. It's a basic looking Chevelle. It's got red lined wheels. They've released this casting quite a few times. This casting also has quite the history with Auto World, as it's been in releases dating back to the second licensed premium release for Auto World. So 9,800 pieces on this one for the version A, and then version B actually looks quite a bit better, I think, with the cooler looking wheels, and it is in a gloss white, and it's more limited, 6,800 pieces. The hood's really easy to open on this one, so we'll go ahead and pop that for you. Take a peek under there, looking pretty good. And it looks really, really good. I wish the Ultra Red would have gone after version B on this one, or these would have been flip-flopped, as this was version A and that was version B, because I would have liked to see the Ultra Red with those wheels on it. But it's not, of course, because it goes on the version A trait. So we're going to see Ultra Red body, white base, and then, of course, the same wheels from the version A car, which, there you go. So Ultra Red, if you add your 9,800 and 6,800 together, find 3% of that, we're looking at about 498 pieces in total for the Ultra Red. All right. Lastly, we got the square body. Undoubtedly the most desirable, generally desirable casting from this release. It is also the least limited. Okay, so we have version A, which is this right here, in brown iridescent with neutral, which is this kind of beigeish color for the striping and stuff like that. We also got an orange stripe, brown stripe. This truck rather, looks absolutely fantastic. It's one of my favorite releases of the square body from Auto World. It just looks really good because of this metallic brown paint. I really, really like it. Limited to 10,808 pieces. And it looks quite good. White lined tires. Looking really good. And then version B, they changed it up quite a bit with the wheels. They don't have white lined tires. And it is in dark red poly. Also limited to 10,808 pieces. This probably confused a few people when it was in stores because it does look pretty close to the Ultra Red. But it is not an Ultra Red. It just has that kind of metallic red look, being in a red poly, and it does look quite good. But then, of course, we're going to see the Ultra Red, which is right here. So, it's time to free the piece. on this Ultra Red, which is limited to 649 pieces approximately, possibly around 650. I don't know. I don't know the exact number. Just going off of the 3% generalized rule that it is for standard Auto World chase pieces. And there we go. She's out of the package in Ultra Red. And that completes this series for me. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this little video. If you like to learn more about Auto World in general and like these full series videos, like I said, I've been doing this since I've been completing releases. So there should be a video, and I believe there is, for every single release that I've been able to complete. There has been a video for it, and I've been doing it, you know, as I've been completing these releases. So they don't come out right when the release comes out because it takes me a while to actually complete a release. But there's a look at all your Ultra Reds together. You guys let me know what was your favorite casting and color from this set. Did you collect this whole set when it came out 2 years ago? Are you still going after it? Do you buy a lot of Ultra Reds? I'm just curious. So let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys again for watching another episode. Again, check out the playlist. I keep my channel fairly organized, so it should be really easy to find the videos that you like to find. And of course, subscribe for more content. You know, that good stuff. Like it, comment, you know the deal. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good day.